welcome to Prime Time. I'm back with Victoria Soltesh from PSP Angels.
Hello there.
And what we really wanted to talk about today is we're the first day of the lockdown, we'll call it, or working from home, or however you want to phrase it. And look, we're going to be doing this for a couple of weeks minimum. Maybe it'll go on a bit longer. Is this going to change the way that we work in offices? Or will we work in offices anymore? Everyone said when we got the internet that we were working from the beach, all this nonsense. Is it all going to change now, do you think?
Is it a nonsense though? Because this is what we are forced to do. So you can see a bit of a trend that the companies need to trust their employees more and more, because more and more people are working from home, not necessarily for the virus, but because there is a trend of I don't really want to pay your holidays, I don't really want to pay your sick leave. I pay you for a project. You do the project, you get paid. But other than that, what kind of personal problems you have, I should not be involved as an employer. So this is the kind of trend what we see that speeds up a bit, because nowadays people are really forced to work from home. So you need to have self-confidence that you can do it from home. You need to have the right knowledge, because you cannot just actually call someone every 5 minutes for advice, and you need to be really focused, because the sofa is calling and the TV is calling. But you need to be really focused. Plus now all the schools are closed, so it's an extra pressure for everyone. They're trying to work from home when your 3 kids are home as well, and your wife. So it could be
well, it's a different thing. Look at the FX industry, for example, the way it's built. So you have office of back office, and then you have a massive amount of salespeople. What happens here then? Because they're usually the ones who are really nailed down, not allowed to take pencils to the office for fear of writing down someone's name and taking it, some of that. I mean, how is that going to work now?
Yes, exactly. So I think this is the right time to invest in a security company, because online security is going to be vital after that, obviously, because you need to trust your employees up to a point that you need to give them access. So you need to take some kind of measures that all the data which is contributed to the company and everybody's working with the same data is still safe. So we will see that how GDPR is actually kept, because now people have to work from home. That means that do they copy the file because they just don't understand, or they just lose the password? Better to copy the file and work from home, kind of thing. How does it affect all the GDPR legislations? These are very interesting times to see that how we end up, but that there's definitely a trend of staying home, working from home, and offices as the traditional meaning of the offices will no longer exist.
It goes back to trust, doesn't it? If you can't trust the guy, then why have you employed him in the first place?
Exactly, but there is a thin line actually to find someone who is good, to be able to trust your company to him, but not that good to still your client. So it's a very hard decision.
But as an employer, I believe that if you treat people well enough and train them enough that they feel like they're getting something out of their day in their career, they're not going to stay there forever.
Exactly.
But I think there's less of a probability of them stealing something from you or trying to damage you, or if they feel underpaid and undervalued, they're not going to be looking around thinking, okay, I'm going to lift all the data and go somewhere else. So I think a lot of it maybe goes to the owner or CEO or whoever, the line manager, into how to do this. So you've got an outsourced thing as well now, haven't you? What you do?
Yes. We are working with different freelancers, and it gives me the opportunity to actually have a really good quality work on a lower cost, because these people might not necessarily need to have the Cyprus salaries, the European salaries. These people could be working from Thailand, where the rent is as low as €100 per month, and they could be really, really knowledgeable. They are working from jurisdictions whereby paying, I don't know, 5 or 10 euros per an hour gets you an absolute professional. So this is what I can see, that nowadays more and more people try to do a freelance work, which is good for the employers. It's also good for the employees, but we need to have the right system for that. So you cannot take the server home, for example.
If you get the right outsourced person, it's an absolute dream.
That's
right. If you hit the jackpot, then it's really good. But if you get the wrong one, it could be an absolute nightmare. And I think that's where you lose that bond of trust, because you're never going to meet the person.
Exactly.
They could be wherever, I don't know, Thailand, like you say, and so you can't build that rapport up, and you can't, especially for a design project, for example, it's really hard to get your ideas across if they don't speak English, for example. I mean, maybe that's your fault for going a bit too cheap, you know what I mean?
You don't get cheap.
All right, so you recently went to Dubai, and everything was closed essentially, wasn't it? It was on lockdown. How would you kind of network then now if you're a business? Because I mean, networking outside probably going to be not on the agenda, until next year, would you say?
Exactly, and I can see that all these companies who are organizing different events are in big trouble because the insurance will not going to cover you just because people are afraid to turn up due to a virus, right? So there is no insurance who's going to pay for the food or the room rental, which has been already paid. So now again there is a kind of a trend that there are different online meeting rooms whereby you put your avatar, your description, and then you try to network like it was in the real time, but happens everything in front of the computer. Again, it opens up very, very good channels, so you can meet people that you wouldn't meet otherwise, but it loses the personal touch. And this is what we can see nowadays, that young people are more and more capable of handling this kind of situation whereby we've got imaginary friends through the phones and I've got a whole community
in your head.
Exactly. But this is what happens, and unfortunately I think we need to learn from them this skill, that how to put trust in someone that we've never seen, how to network with people that I only saw your avatar, I only know your email address. So it's these are very interesting times.
Well, I think the paradigm's now changed with the advent of the smartphone, like our relationships. Remember when people used to moan about, why are you SMSing people all the time, not speaking to them? Now it's Messenger, I show somebody it's Messenger. Oh my God, MSM and stuff.
Exactly.
When they're using MSM and this Facebook thing, you know what I mean? But once the next generation of management kind of goes, it will be acceptable, you know, a way which business is done. I'm going to shoot a video in the future about how to kind of save the expo industry. It's a bit mad, but it will work. I guarantee. I'll tell you off air because it's it's funny.
All right, can't wait to hear
come if you want.
about
It'll be funny. It can be done locally in Limassol.
Nice.
And there's a lot of sponsorship opportunities in it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the people who do run expos, I would recommend that you really watch this one that I'm going to do because it could save your business. I guess.
Okay,
All right.
great.
So. Yeah, how would you network then offline? I mean, because we all get the LinkedIn spam emails, like you just click on someone, within 3 seconds someone's giving you an 18,000 word dissertation on why I should use their product.
Exactly.
You know? How would you do it? Is there a certain way or etiquette or something like that?
Yes, I think you need to be reasonable, but then again, it's very hard to spot the spam. It's very hard to spot the scammer, and it's very hard to look legit and not to look like a scam or a spam just because you mistyped the
so maybe
word.
don't pretend to be that Nigerian prince straight from the off.
Exactly. If something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. But yes, it's very, very interesting times because it affects everything. It affects our way of doing our personal relationships, our business, our office, our payments, our hiring, our everything. So it's very interesting that we can see a trend of all the companies who are based online are actually going strong, and all the brick and mortar businesses unfortunately dying out. The good thing about it, however, that it gives an opportunity to everyone, the real equal opportunity, because behind that email address, I don't care about your color, I don't care about your gender, I don't care how many kids do you have, right? So there is no opportunity to treat someone better or for worse just because of their personal circumstances. So it gives a good opportunity for people with reduced mobility. It gives a good opportunity for people who are not that fortunate to be born in Europe, so they can actually talk to real businesses, even if they were in the middle of a village in a cardboard box. And this is a very, very good part of this situation. This is what I think.
It's an interesting point. I never thought about it like that. It's like a great equalizer.
Exactly.
You know, it does take a lot of these things away, doesn't it?
Exactly.
You know?
Or you're a woman or a man, I don't care. You do the project, that's how much you get paid for. Other than that, what you're doing, it's absolutely up to you.
Maybe there'll be some kind of avatar, not avatar world, that sounds a bit bad, but like when you just go to like Fiverr or something like that, or Upwork, where you just have the avatar. You say, okay, here's the guy's or woman or whatever, here's the person's skills, and like gender, race, ethnicity doesn't come into it. You know, and you're just based upon your avatar's skills, almost like a computer game.
And that's the whole point, because what we saw, it was a quite old project, the Second Life, that you live your second life online. I think this is what we are aiming towards, and I think it's a beautiful new world if you know how to make the most out of it.
Yeah, you're right, because we are at the start of this. The new technology, you know, where, okay, we've had the internet for quite a few years now. The next great leap forward is going to come, provided we don't all die off in the next 3 weeks or so. But, yeah. Mars technology is going to be awesome, man. But like where it's going to take us, you know, in the next 10 years, it's going to be absolutely crucial. Like it's going to be like going from trading with paper trade tickets to where we are now with HFT and stuff like that. It's going to be a huge leap forward. So, anything to add before we finish?
Well, I would really encourage everyone to think about the future from this new perspective, because the people who will really succeed are the ones who are getting prepared for the future. Yeah. So, if your business is heavily based on retail, try to think about it, put it online, and if it's already online, try to think about that, how to be ahead of the competition and make the relevant steps towards optimizing every aspect of your online business, because that's the key for success.
All right, to finish up, I'm going to use the old sales trope. Oh, don't be a Nokia, be an Apple. You know, have you never heard that before?
Never.
Well, you live and learn. There you go. But you know what I mean? Like when Nokia was so far ahead with their phone and stuff, and then Apple come along, and
I like that.
You know. So yeah, there you go. You learned something new.
I love that.
Take that to the pharmacy and.
I will.
All right. Cheers, Vic.
Thank you, guys.
Take it easy. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.